Hello, this is Tim Lee, CEO of LendAPI. We are here for another exciting episode of LendAPI Partner Podcast. And today we have a true partner, Shah from CRS Credit API or CRS. We've been working together for a long time, and we've been trying to schedule this episode for almost 2 years now.
Yep.
So Jay finally got some time. He was, lots of good personal events happened in the last year or two with Jay. But I can't wait for this episode to get released and kicked off and get more people to learn about CRS. So that said, Jay, welcome to the podcast. It's been a long time coming. I finally got you on. So welcome. And please tell everybody about you and CRS, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tim. I feel great about finally being on this podcast. I know we've been speaking about it for a long time. Uh, yeah, so I can speak about myself and CRS. I come from Mumbai, India, where
Mumbai.
surprise, yeah,
Yeah.
surprisingly, I studied and I plan to be an accountant. So I pursued accounting as an early career. Tried it out for 3 years. My work got me to Hong Kong, where I worked in corporate finance for a bit, and I did not like it so much.
Was it your parents wanted to be an accountant or you want to be an accountant?
Surprisingly, it was me.
Oh my
My
word. Okay.
family comes from the diamond business, and my family always wanted me to join the family business, which I
Sure.
didn't want to. So, I thought accounting was like the best thing to
Sure.
do at that point
Right.
and pursue my career. Uh, Little did I know I hated it so much.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
when were you in Hong Kong? You spent good old 2, 3 years there, right? What
yeah,
time?
I was there from 2014 to 2017.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. That's a long
Good
time.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before, things started getting a bit messy there. Yeah, I had some of the best times of my life in Hong Kong, and it gave me some time to think about what I really want to pursue, and that's when I decided uh, to get my master's here in the US,
Okay.
which got me in the greater New York City area. I was very active. I used to network a lot, and got super interested in the startup space out here
Right.
in New York City.
Yeah.
So I used to volunteer at these pitching competitions,
Sure.
and that exposed me to so many fintechs and startups in this space.
Right.
That's where I met the CEO of the first fintech that I started working with, which was Forward Lane. Uh,
Oh, Forward Lane. That's a big one. I guess it was a startup back in the days.
yeah, they specialize in AI signals for wealth management, and they did this before
Sure.
AI
Yeah.
uh, got the popularity it does
Yeah.
today. And yeah, it really gave me some good exposure.
Yeah.
It
And
was,
what did you do there at Forward Lane?
I mean,
It's
they
a
wanted to
startup.
hire me, and they said, you write your own resume.
Right.
So for the first 2 months, I was just trying to fill in gaps. I didn't even have a position. I was basically an intern.
Right.
And the gap I was filling in was mostly on the strategic business development side,
Got it. Yeah.
setting up the entire sales process
Sure.
and leading some of those sales efforts myself as well.
Right. Right.
So
That was B2B sales. Who are you selling to? What was your ICP then?
we were selling to RIAs,
Okay.
registered investment advisors,
Right.
and these RIAs were, we went for some of the biggest uh, broker dealers, like
Right.
in, so we onboarded Invesco and some of these
Wow.
other top broker
Sure.
dealers while I was working there,
Yep.
and I really helped set up the sales motion for mid-sized RIAs that were open
Sure.
to starting to use AI next best action signals,
Right.
which is an amazing use case, right? You bring together CRM notes with your investment data, and suddenly
What
the
a great
business.
idea, right? What an idea. But that was executed way before anybody even thought about AI, right?
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
it was. And yeah, that's when I stumbled upon CRS. Someone reached out to me one day and they're like, hey, I just need you to speak with our CEO for 20 minutes because I just know you're a good fit. And I was
Wow.
like,
Okay. Was it a
I'm
recruiter?
on.
Somebody at CRS? That's a cool. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
so that's how I met Marco, who's one of the co-founders at CRS, and Steven, who's our CEO and president, and Jason Domazet, who leads sales. He's the chief revenue officer here
right.
at CRS, and yeah, one of the best decisions I've made. Uh,
Wow. Okay. I know you've been there for a long time. You're one of the faces. I see you at shows all the time. That's how we kind of met numbers of years ago. Yeah. Tell us more about CRS. I mean, you name all the co-founders. What's the history? How long it's been around? How many people there? What is the core belief at CRS?
yeah, the core belief at CRS is to democratize regulated data.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tim, you understand this very well. If you're a fintech or if you're newly entering the lending space, you're often pretty lost with with the regulatory requirements. It
Sure.
often takes you months to get through the compliance roadblocks, and it's not it's not very straightforward from the technical integration point of view as well. So
Right.
our CEO, Stephen Hawkins, he comes from this industry. He spent more than 3 decades in this business, and he's just so well respected among all three credit bureaus that he also has. We are a licensed CRA, and I know there's a lot of firms pursuing uh, becoming a licensed CRA today, but
Hmm.
yeah, Stephen had it early on,
Right.
and we are not just a licensed CRA, we are really close, respected partners with the bureaus. So
Right.
that, along with, sorry, go ahead.
CRA. I mean, we're trying to democratize acronyms here on this podcast. There's a lot of people looking at this stuff probably have no clue what regulated data even is, let alone CRA. Maybe we can back it up a little bit. Why are there regulated data in financial services? What's the point of regulated? Who's regulating this data?
Yeah,
Maybe you can give us a little demystifying there, Jay.
yeah, that's a great question. So I think at the crux of this is the fact that every individual has ownership on their own data. In this world, the individual is called a consumer. That's just the
Hmm.
terminology.
Yeah.
But every consumer needs to be protected. Just like in healthcare, you have your health data that nobody should be able to
Right.
access. Similarly, for data like your own credit history, your
Okay.
payments, your
Credit
liabilities,
report. Yeah.
you own that. So yeah, it shouldn't be publicly available. And there are government bodies that are trying to protect these
Hmm.
consumers. The,
Right.
the most prevalent one in our space is the FCRA, which
Yep.
is the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
That's right.
And the FCR is designed and built to protect these consumers so that
Right.
uh, there is a structured system for organizations to access their data when required under a specific permissible use case.
Hmm.
But there's rules around how they should be accessing the data and
Right.
what rights the consumer has
Right.
if their data has been used.
And
So
parties involved, we'll use the word entrusted, right? The house's data are what we call CRAs, and tell us what that means and why it's important for a CRS to become a CRA, and who are other CRAs out there?
yeah. So CRAs are essentially bodies that are repositories that hold this data on
Hmm.
consumers.
Yep.
And, we have the big three credit bureaus today, which is Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Each
Right.
one of these bodies are essentially maintaining a repository of data, data related to financial behavior. How
Right.
how regularly is someone paying back their dues, and they have to go through a very stringent process and comply with the FCRA regulations
Mm,
to get issued this CRA license. It's highly
right.
limited. There's about a couple hundred CRA licenses that have been issued today, and having one highlights the fact that you have in fact gone through a very rigorous process and established certain measures and controls internally
Right.
to operate as a CRA, where
Wow.
you're ensuring the data is accurate. You're also ensuring that there's a system to correct that data in case a consumer has any sort of disputes.
Right. Who's handing out these CRA licenses, if there are licenses to begin with, certifications, whatever it might be? Which governing body does that? FTC, OCC,
I believe it's
CFPB?
I believe it's the CFPB.
Okay, got it.
The
Yep.
Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is the one that you deal with
Yeah.
to uh, to become a CRA.
Right. So that gives you the ability to kind of store, protect consumer financial data, maybe identity information as well. Getting one of these, you got to crawl through glass. I only know a handful of people are CRAs. I think Plaid trying to be a CRA, maybe they become a CRA. Maybe I've heard Socure is doing a CRA thing. So everybody that wants to store, protect, enshrine this data on behalf of consumers, not just a simple pass through. There's a lot of people just kind of resell data, needs a CRA, right? And that basically sets you guys apart from just regular data broker, if you will, to somebody that go through constant audits, lots of probably legal fees went into it, right?
Right.
To really derive information or store information on behalf of American consumers. That's yeah. Are you guys our CRA already, or in the process of doing it, Jay?
In fact, we had a CRA license when CRS came into existence.
Oh, okay, got it. That's right. Yeah,
So yeah, we've been a CRA all along.
that was his
And
foresight because he's been in the industry for 20, 30 years, probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Steven started it as a lifestyle business, which is an interesting fact. We when he had the license, uh, he was helping out a few folks, and then
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, later on, he realized that there's a huge gap, not just on the compliance side of things, but also on the technology side of things. He basically saw the whole dot-com era, and he saw how the bureaus went from manually, getting these credit files and processing
Yep.
them through fax machines to something that's API based. So
Right.
he was a big force in that transition,
Wow.
and that's what motivated him to start CRS. And
Wow.
yeah,
Are you guys trying to be a big three? Where you guys gathering data from all the, I don't know, the credit card issuers, lending entities, and things like that, right? To start putting together some unique sets of data for maybe a certain industry or a sliver of the financial industry that nobody's really touching. What's the goal there?
yeah, that's a great question. Our goal is to be that invisible mid fintech infrastructure layer that
Okay.
helps our customers and other fintechs easily connect to these regulated data sources. So
Okay.
we have no intentions of replacing or becoming like any of the three credit bureaus. I think they
Got
they
it.
do an excellent job
Yep.
at what they do. What we want to be really good at is implement their products. These bureaus have hundreds and maybe thousands of products, and today we don't just connect to the three bureaus. We connect to other vendors like LexisNexis, CoreLogic, PitchPoint, Finicity, CIC,
Got it.
Socure. We also connect with many other fintechs like AdData. So we are trying to be that one-stop shop, which makes it very convenient for
Right.
anyone. And this is really important. Even if you're a big lender or if you're a startup and a one-person company, we
Yeah.
provide the same level of service. You get access to a suite of 200 plus products through a single onboarding process, which us being a CRA and being tech forward have squeezed it down to about
Right.
4 days on an
Yeah.
average. So
That
yeah,
makes perfect sense. This kind of reminds me of there I mentioned Alloy's strategy. It was hot 3 or 4 years ago, where you can connect Alloy and they give you like maybe 3 or 4 different data points. I don't know what they do now, but that was their agenda. I feel like Jay's like one API, root them all. Sounds like you guys got 200 at least different products and a variety of different vendors already plugged in. I can just hit this one API. You can bring me pseudo identity verification, credit reports, scores, tri bureau, whatever. That'll make my life easier. And I think we both work with enough fintechs and even banks going through that accreditation process with one vendor. It's a, for some will be a 3 to 6 months journey, let alone connect to all 5 or 6 or 7, which is probably the minimum sets of vendors you need to kind of launch a fintech these days. That's a lot of work, Jay. How long did it take you guys kind of get to where you getting to now, and then what are some of the future plans?
yeah, it's taken us a good 5 or 6 years and
Oh,
lot of effort, not just on the compliance piece, but the technology piece, where our
right.
product team, which is led by Garrett Lowe, Garrett,
I know Gary. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
you know, he his team spent a good amount of time looking at this whole web of complex steps and processes that
Hmm.
go into making someone FCRA, someone credentialed
Right.
for bureau products, and then built an entire portal. Well, one of the things that really sets us apart today is we have created this onboarding portal, which allows new customers to have a visual on where they stand in the onboarding process. I know you
Right.
went through that to a certain extent, Tim.
Oh, we went through that. It's
Where
beautiful. I can attest to that. Yeah, of course. Yes. Super easy to use. Went and logged in, maybe 2 3 pages of essay, took some photos, and that was it. I mean, it felt easy, but it was very complete. So it's not like one of those run by night people. Oh, just give me your credit card number, we'll get you onboarded. I felt like there was a very astute process, but you guys made it very easy to do. And of course, we are, I mean, we're going to toot your horn a little bit. We're a client, and we also work together to enable other clients to get up and running. Right? We have an orchestration platform. Part of that is have good quality data sort of partnership like you guys to serve up whatever data that people need, so they can run models, rules, whatever it might be, to get themselves going. So that was a very easy process. And I myself went through that, so this is firsthand
you can vouch for it.
testimonial there. Yeah. So, and I went through that 2 years ago. So you can just imagine how beautiful it is now. So good. What's new, Jay? I mean, you've been in the industry for a long time. What are the world is changing. We have to say AI. All these automations are happening. It's just more demand on data consumption that a merchant or a lender or a bank will come in and say, you know what, before I can only digest one bureau, one identity verification. Give me everything today. Let my machine learning folks churn through all this stuff. What's new? Is that all happening here?
It's all happening here. We had a client we onboarded last month who 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 has no engineers
Wow.
on their side. They interacted with our API. Our product team has built documentation that's very friendly with Claude and other AI tools. And this client was essentially able to build out his own underwriting engine simply by using Lovable and uh, interacting with our API in a highly
Go.
secure fashion. So
There
that's
you
where
go.
the world is moving now, and we are seeing, as you rightly called out, right? The more the data, the better, and it's just so easy to ingest high amounts of data now to reach decisions, which would
Right.
have been impossible if one was to manually read through all of these reports.
That's right.
Earlier.
That's right. We just talked to one of the biggest banks in the world. I think I can say that. We were on the phone with them, and it takes 2 years to change one rule. I don't know. It doesn't matter what amount of bureaucracy there is, right? It's just a lot of people are still stuck in the past, and now we have clients. Vibe coding sounds whatever, but they were able to use AI sort of coding agents to kind of interface with your MCP layer that can digest one or hundreds of thousands, if not tens of thousands of variables, process through all of that, and can run any numbers of underwriting, identity verification that drive their interaction as well, drive their user experience on the other side. That's music to my ears. Even today, I think in even some of the fintech 1.0, 1.5, 2.0 folks out
Yep.
there in San Francisco, maybe New York, they still live in a world where, again, onboarding one vendor is like it's a, it's a root canal, and now we're seeing this feature where people can just sounds like that company did it over the weekend. It's that easy now, you
They
know,
did. Yeah.
with the right proper amount of control, of course, right? Because it's all regulated, secure data.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm seeing it on
incredible.
both ends, to be honest, Tim. On one end, you see some use cases where the more data is, the better. But on the other end, we're also seeing a large demand for some customers that are looking for less data, which is quite interesting. Um, you know, one thing we often hear is if you're looking at a standard credit report,
Sure.
there's more than 3,000 attributes
Yep.
in one credit file, and at the top of the funnel, when you're looking at folks that are doing lead generation for lenders, they don't really need all those attributes.
Right. Yeah.
They're actually just looking for those four or five attributes that really matter to them, which are simple ones like credit score, the amount of debt, maybe income, and two or three other unique attributes that they're looking for. So on one
Right.
end, we see some use cases where they're like, hey, set us up with fraud, background checks, business reports, everything.
Right.
Whereas on the other end, they're like, hey, we don't even need a softball.
Right.
That's something that's that's more
Right.
lightweight than a soft check. So we've actually innovated on that end as well, and created some really lightweight products on top of the funnel, which are cost effective, right? So you're not paying for data points that you're really not using.
Right. Yeah.
You're
This is just very situational, right? Like you said, in high volume, fast turnaround, within half a second, I got to make some decision, right? There's no need or time prohibitive to go through two, three bureaus, data sources, and have that turnaround time be 2, 3 seconds. Right now, everything's made in 200, 300 milliseconds. Like you said, if lenders are buying leads from whoever the lead generator is, they want to make a quick decision just to say, do I want to even further entertain that lead, right?
right.
Utilization, I don't want anybody 120-day delinquent, whatever it might be it, right? Just cut it off. Maybe out of 100, 20 survives. Then I'll go through a more rigorous kind of a process thing. I can, pull more data to, one, waterfall this whole process. Second, save money, and then they can go through more, I guess, leads, right, to find the quality leads that they need to onboard that day. I see that's the, and maybe for MCA vendors, you guys have all of those guys in New York City. Maybe, I mean, the dollar amount may be a little bit higher. They can afford to sort of pull a little bit more information on the business itself, maybe the business owners to kind of do a little bit more due diligence, just depending on the usage case that you guys can provide for fast hitting 100 millisecond response or more astute, hey, bring me 10 pieces of information before I can give this guy 100 grand or something like that off of this business. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's very accurate. Another trend I'm seeing is I haven't seen customers lay so much emphasis on their users' experience and friction. So, you know,
Mm,
before people were fine, to run a credit check, you need a few data points like your name, address, social, date of birth, and
yeah,
the more you add, the more
frictional.
the more you, your better match rate.
Yeah, that's right. But also on the flip side, more drop offs. Like, I don't want to give all this data. I'm just going to try to buy a pair of shoes, whatever the situation is. Yeah,
That's right.
right,
So, yeah, and we focused on this, and we've really innovated on providing customers different options
right.
to choose the level of friction that they are okay with.
Sure.
And today, with technology, there are ways to remotely silently verify one's device and
Mm,
not have them input those 5 data points, but instead just collect 2 of them and then sort of help them and
right.
just pull the rest of it on the back end. So you're not
Yeah,
really compromising on the match rates. You're still getting all those 5 data points, but
right.
you're reducing the friction on the customer side.
Right. Especially in today's mobile environment, right? There's only one thumb. Maybe I can deal with two fields and I'm tired. So Jay, was there any technology around, I think we talked about this before, all I maybe need is my phone number, which could be pre-filled and maybe the last 4 digits of SSN or some other identifiable information. And you guys can do all that majestic work to pull a full-blown credit. Or tell us more about that
Yeah.
technology where one thumb, one consent could do it all.
So there's a couple of options, right? You don't even need the last 4 anymore.
Wow.
You just on an average, you can pull a credit file just using name and address, which
Sure.
is
Yep.
which is the minimum required fields.
Yep.
But then you're looking at close to a 60 to 70% match rate when you
Okay.
do that. The SSN really helps you get super accurate because it's
Yep.
it's really unique to that individual. Generally, with name and addresses, you run into situations where you have a junior and senior in the same house or
Right.
apartment building, which is why you have lower match rates. SSN it solves that issue to a certain extent. With the new technology, you're with a combination of first name, last name, and phone number.
Hmm. Yep.
You can you can send a device verification link, or there are tools that just communicate with these telecommunication networks and would
Sure.
verify the owner of that device. And once that verification flow is completed,
Right.
you can then automatically pull their social date of birth. Uh,
Right. Address for sure, because my
yep,
wireless carrier has my address.
yep. So
Right. Wow. And it's all happening behind the scenes, fully protected data. There's some backend servers talking to some other backend server. I, as a consumer, felt like, hey, I didn't give up too much of my information, which actually helps, increases conversion probably.
it does, and
Yeah.
it's more secure. It's actually more secure than traditional methods because you're
Wow.
not having someone key in their social on a website.
Mm,
So
wow. It's just down on me, Jay, that we have these two nerds, you and I, talking about a subject that's so dry. Oh my God. For about 30 minutes now. I don't know who in their right mind would listen to this podcast, but we have thousands of people coming to our website. I'm sure someone's going to have questions for you, Jay. But you just got married, right? Not just, but I know you got married about a year and a half ago. How's that going, man? Tell us.
it's awesome. It's awesome. One of the best things I did. Um, I we had an amazing wedding in India where
Love it.
we we had a destination wedding and we had all our close friends and family
Right.
in Chennai. You've been to Chennai.
I've been to Chennai. Yes,
Been to
sir.
Chennai,
I've
yes.
been to Chennai. Love it.
So we had some beautiful
On the beach, I'm assuming, because it's
on
a
the
kind of a beach
beach.
town. Oh
Yeah,
my God. You owe me some pictures. I think I saw one, but send me some more. I can only
yeah,
imagine a wow, that's beautiful on the beach. And it was I remember you uh, going for the ceremony because we were trying to do something, and you were like, "Oh, I'm going home to a." It was like fall. Is it late fall kind of a time? I don't remember when it was. This was like 2 years ago, I want to say, right?
yeah. This was last year in March, so
Oh,
it was
that's right. Yeah, early spring. That's right.
early spring, yes,
Yeah,
and it was really hot in Chennai.
it's always hot in Chennai. Yeah, yeah. I was there in June or something like that, maybe 5, 6 years ago. It was 100% humidity, 100 degrees. As soon as the sun comes out, it's over.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
people sort of hang out in the middle of the night, when the temperature drops a little bit, and or you go to these hill stations. You go up to the mountain,
yeah.
4 or 5 thousand feet up, and it cools down quite a bit when you get up there. But well, congratulations. Everybody's back in New York now. You're
Yeah,
newly minted wife there. Okay, yeah.
everyone's back. My parents are visiting. They are actually coming in this weekend, so we're gonna spend
Oh,
some
great.
time with them.
Good.
Few weeks,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'll share. We have a wedding movie,
Oh
so
my
I'll
God.
share the link with you.
Of course, of course. I just want to see the lavish dresses and the jewelry and the happy people. I think out of all peoples on this earth, the Indian weddings are the most, auspicious. It's a whole event.
It was a
Uh,
whole event, but I'll tell
yeah.
you one thing. I went back to India for my brother-in-law's wedding earlier
Okay.
this year, and I was telling my wife, it's so much better to be at a wedding, but not being the ones that are getting married because
Right, right.
my
I have to
friends
stop
tell
you right
me,
there.
yeah,
You went to your brother-in-law's wedding.
yeah.
Isn't that your sister's wedding? You
Oh
said your
no,
brother.
my wife's brother.
Okay, gotcha. It's early in Pacific time. I just had my second cup of coffee. I'm like, what? Your brother-in-law's? Okay, great. Yes, and
Works
you're
both ways.
absolutely right. Attending, having fun is different than on stage. You gotta you're probably tidy wound in your
Yeah,
garb, and you gotta
it was
behave
a
a certain
workout.
way. Yeah. Wow, that's great. I mean, that's great. Yeah, next time I'm in New York City, I think we're doing Finovate, Money 2020, all these things. I think Money 2020 is in Vegas, but I'll see you there. But getting back to the business, we do a lot of stuff together, and all of our clients really love CRS for all the reasons that we kind of talked about. Access to a different type of information. One calls it root them all. What else can not we, you and I, but as an industry, can we do to sort of break down the barrier of entry for all the aspiring fintech entrepreneurs to get into the space? Are you guys also helping them to get onboarded with some of the more regulated entities, like the three bureaus and things like that? You guys could do all the hand holding, right? They don't have to think about anything.
They don't, and yeah, that's a great thing you bring up. One thing I'll tell you, Tim,
Yeah.
is some of our biggest clients today are folks that were startups starting out as brand new fintechs
Oh, wow.
4 or 5 years ago, and that's one of the pillars here at CRS. Jason will talk to you about this concept called sales karma, where we really, we try to steer away from any salesy Wolf of Wall Street tactics, but really focus
Sure.
on educating our clients and taking the most consultative approach. There have
Got
been
it.
so many times when I've had conversations with someone, and we concluded that CRS might not be the right fit because there's actually something better there's a
Right.
better solution for them out there. So we
Sure.
really believe in the concept of providing the right education to these folks because they are starting out. It is overwhelming, right? When I joined CRS, it took me like a good 4 months to understand this industry
Right.
in depth. It's really intimidating to some folks that might be
Right.
starting out. So
Right.
uh, you know, educating them mostly on, the tech piece, I think it's still, with everything that's going on, it's still very manageable, but compliance is where we pay, we pay
Mm,
a lot of
right.
boards. We
Right.
want to make sure that everyone is doing the right thing from a compliance standpoint so that you're good for the future, and you
Right.
don't lay the foundation of your business on something that's not 100%.
Right. Not just a developer portal, here's our API guide. You sort of go in there and say, hey, you know what? Here's some guardrails, right? We're not lawyers and law firm compliance people, but here's some of the stuff you should consider. You're also helping your potential clients or new clients to sort of stay in lane, don't get into mass amount of trouble. Here's the ways that people use this data for. So there's a lots of advisory kind of work that you guys are doing as well.
It
Sounds
is,
like.
it is. We generally create flows. We have a thing internally where we are not selling products, we are selling flows.
Right. Right.
And
And that's
where
guardrail, right? Hey, here's the generally accepted usage model, so to speak. And
Right.
that's, yeah,
And that, in most cases, that is going to save our clients a lot of
right,
money because, as you called out earlier, when you're doing a pre-qualification flow, there are a lot of ways to use something more lightweight and not something expensive to weed out people that shouldn't be coming down further in the flow, and you're conducting more checks on those individuals. So we really
right.
help customers get super lean with designing their flow, and we are in a fortunate spot.
Yeah,
We have multiple vendors for each product type, so we can really hone in and uh,
right.
and
E-
guide them.
Even just reorganizing the waterfall call will save them thousands of dollars a month, I feel like, you know?
It does.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
does.
I get it. Wow. Splendid. Um, Building a family in New York City, Jay? I've got 4 kids, so I have to always ask newly minted husbands and soon to be fathers, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we are still 2 years away.
Okay, you got a plan for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are traveling. My wife is starting out as well. She's working in tech consulting right now.
Okay. Right.
Uh,
Yeah, have
so
fun. You guys are in the best city in the world and lots to do and lots of time to enjoy. Uh, Dad didn't put you back in the diamond business, Jay?
no.
No. Just stay away from that subject, huh? Well, there's
Yeah,
a lot of that business in New York City, so I'm sure when you drive around, you have to take a peek. It's in the blood, I feel like.
I have a lot of cousins. I have a lot of family friends. So I
Yeah,
I'm still in touch with all of those guys. But every time I see them,
sure.
I'm like, I'm so happy I'm not doing
Right.
this.
Yeah. Jay, we got to do more of this. Maybe we'll do a joint blog or something like that to talk about the success of what we have together. But, and for everybody else, if you're in New York City and looking for a restaurant recommendation, please call Jay.
Yeah,
He knows
absolutely.
everywhere. He recommended some really good places for us. And it's just j.shot at crscredit.com. Give
Credit
us a,
API, CRSCreditAPI.com.
okay, j.shaw at crscreditapi.com. I'm going to put all this stuff in the show note. We're going to get this out there so you're easy to find. And you guys are also in our marketplace listing as well, which hopefully drives some business your way. But this is great, Jay. We've been planning on this for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
There's always something that comes up. You're a busy dude. Congratulations on getting married.
Thank
Haven't
you.
said that enough. And this is great. I mean, from one nerd to another, this is a great space to be in. And I think for everybody else that's coming out of college that wants to build a career, I think fintech, financial services, software, data, analytics, whatever it might be, is a great start. And by the way, where did you go to grad school?
I went to Rutgers in New Jersey.
Rutgers.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, so if you're in New York City, you want to get a head start, Jay is a super friendly guy. I love him very much. Everybody here loves Jay and CRS. Reach out to him, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But I'll put all this information in the show note. Jay, I can't thank you enough for getting on to this podcast. We're going to
Thank you.
advertise this to no end. I will see you in New York City and hang out with you more. Thank you,
Thanks
bro.
for having me, Tim. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.